You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do our review for The Flash Season 1. This episode entitled Fastest Man Alive. Alright, so I got to see this episode pretty late. DVR failed on me. I got out of work at 9 o'clock. I was expecting my DVR to have this recorded, and no. So, did not work out that way. So, fuck you, DVR. But I want to thank Chris Santana from The Nation. He was kind enough to send me the episode, and I finally got to watch it, and was very, very happy. I really liked the first episode, many of you know, and this second episode was no exception. I mean, the first thing I gotta say is I like the relationship between Joe and Barry, and I like the way the two characters and actors are really. I just feel that there's a good chemistry there. I really, personally, in my opinion, feel that that's a relationship right now that's really, really paying dividends on the feels, man, the feels, and some good acting, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who are not too crazy about the actor playing the Flash, and I think the reason with that is because when you get all these other shows that, comic book show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., well, man, not really Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but more like, from what I've seen of Arrow, I don't watch Arrow, you guys know that, but he looks to be a very serious, kind of no bullshit kind of character. And then if you watch the show Gotham, a lot of the characters are a little bit serious, with the exception of Bullock, who has a little bit of a comedy relief now and then. But the character, Barry Allen is he's not that over the top, serious, super grounded character. He brings a lot of charm, and I think because we don't get a lot of that anymore, it might be looked upon as bad acting. I like it. To me, it's a bit of a change. It's a bit of a going back to what some comics were back in the days. I like the fact that he's not super serious. I like the fact that it's not super grounded in terms of how he acts. He's still a kid. He's still very young, a little cocky maybe, but cocky in one sense, but at the same time unsure of himself. Like he loves his ability. He loves those things, but obviously in this episode, he showed a lot of doubt. He got his ass handed to him for once, so he put himself in question. The episode did have some things about it that I was like, okay, that's a little bit cheesy. When he's fighting Multiplex and the whole Matrix thing. This reminded me of the Matrix right off the bat. And, I still don't like what it looks like when he runs from the front view. It just doesn't look good to me. We know these special effects are not that great for TV. And we've seen moments where special effects on TV are phenomenal and moments where special effects on TV are not that great. For some reason, when they show him from that running front view, I just do not like that. I'm not a fan of that. And please bear with me. I'm still recovering from my flu. I'm getting a little bit better, but now the runny nose is coming along. So, but the episode in and of itself, I liked it. It was still, we got to see now that he's having trouble maintaining his power because of his metabolism. This was something I was curious about last week during my review, so it was nice to see that they brought that into light. It's an incredible power to have, but it has to have its limits, and you have to learn how to control it and nurture it. Basically, continue to feed yourself and keep your energy up, keep your strength up. So that was good that they put that in the show. The Multiplex storyline was okay. Look, we've seen the whole story before of a professor hell-bent on revenge from a former superior or something like that. But I think to me, the key elements, the thing I like about this episode the most was Joe and Barry, their exchanges, their relationship. You obviously see there's a lot of love there. There's a lot of care there between the two characters. And because of that, there's conflicting, beliefs. Barry believes he can do it. His father figure, Joe, does not at first. And then it kind of flip-flops. Then Barry doubts himself, and Joe comes in and gives him that vote of confidence he needs. And, when he was fighting Multiplex and you hear Joe talking in the mic, I know you can do it. I mean, that was a little cheesy, I admit. But still, it's okay. We can live with that. And, the very cliche, hold the enemy by the hand before he falls. And, again, we've seen that zillions of times. But again, it's okay because you take the good with the bad, or not necessarily the bad, but sometimes considered cheesy or overdone. And, the most compelling thing is the Doc. And I'm going to call him Doc now because I still don't remember his name from time to time. Like, I'll hear his name and I'll be like, yes, but basically the Doc in the wheelchair. And right now, he's the one that's most interesting. That is the most interesting to me, because I'm a little bit, and I know a lot of you guys who read the comics and stuff like that, you got the up and up. Me, on the other hand, while I love the Flash and he's one of my favorite DC characters, he's not a character that, unfortunately, I didn't read a lot of his comics growing up, and so there's very little for me to remember on top of everything. And then, again, going back so far and then trying to bring it to the current day, it's a lot. It's, I just don't remember. So I'm a little confused because last week we saw him, he got up in the room. There were some people who speculated that it was the room was the reason he can get up. Now we know that that's not the case. So I'm willing to bet now that he's just playing possum. He's playing possum. And killing Stag just to say you're protecting Barry, that's a little extreme. He could easily just warn Barry, look, this guy's out to get you. He doesn't have to murder him. So seeing him go to that extreme, to me, is not a good sign. It's really not a good sign. And then considering what he knows and the newspaper being in the future, there's a lot about this guy that just gives me bad feels, very bad feels. But I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love to see the Flash running around. It's just so fun, because one of the things I always liked about the Flash, and I always thought was very unique about him, was in a world of comics where everybody has super strength, can fly, can do this, a character that runs as fast as he can. He doesn't necessarily have that super strength. Obviously he can generate quite some power with his speed, but he doesn't have that super strength. He is vulnerable if a bullet were to catch him. And to see him utilize a power that you would think right off the bat is maybe not as cool as what Superman can do or what Spider-Man can do or whatever. And it just is the coolest thing in the world. It really is, man. To see him get all those guys out of the building, the little girl, the guy, the other woman, in a matter of seconds is just phenomenal. It's a lot of fun to see, and it really, really is just a fun show. And what I like, again, that's why I enjoy that this Barry Allen is down to earth. He's funny. He's a little quirky, little dorky. I like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be dark and gloomy like a lot of the other characters in recent, comic book movies or comic book shows. So I'm enjoying the show so far. It is going to have its cheesy moments. I can see that already. It is going to have moments where you're like, huh? And, but still, I think overall it's enjoyable. I think some people might start having an issue with the formula. They seem to be taking the first 2 episodes, which is Villain of the Week. That's often a complaint. Many shows like Villain of the Week, or like when I used to watch The Fringe, people used to call it Monster of the Week. And, right now in Gotham, there's a concern that it's the Crime of the Week. And I think it's a hard balance, because I think if you have a storyline, let's say, for example, in a comic book show, you have a storyline that follows a certain villain, you begin to wonder just how long can you focus on one villain before people want to see something new. But the flip side of that is, how long can you run with so many different villains on one show at a time going forward before you run out? So we don't know where this show's going to go yet. It's still too early. From what I try to do a little research, and from what I saw, Flash seems to have a pretty decent list of enemies within his own comic series, let alone those of the DC universe that he's crossed paths with before. So I think the number of villains they're going to have is fine, but I do agree that at some point, and maybe Captain Cold, from what I understand, seems to be a real big villain, arch nemesis for him. So maybe when we get Captain Cold, that'll be an arc that can go for about 4 or 5 or 6 episodes. Just throwing something out there. But overall, right now, I'm enjoying the show a great deal. It's a lot of fun. I really, really like the father-son relationship between Joe and Barry. I'm really into that. I like to see that kind of character development and that kind of interaction between two characters, especially from good acting that goes behind it. It's not stale. Joe showing tears, Barry showing tears. The feels, man, the feels is what it's all about. But anyway, guys, that's it for this review. So I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was great. Multiplex was really, really cool. And can't wait to see next week's episode. It should be a lot of fun. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit E.T.N's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.